Hey everybody, welcome to the Dad Challenge podcast. My name's Josh. Thanks for joining me today. Well, we're going to do part 2 of the Della vlog situation. They dropped their second video and it's probably, I haven't seen it yet. Obviously, I'm going to blind react, but as I've been thinking about it, reading comments all over the place and just kind of weighing what people have been saying about all this thing, it keeps hitting me worse and worse and worse. The fact that these people are capitalizing on this type of situation to make probably tens and tens of thousands of dollars. Their selfishness knows no bounds, is what I'm saying. And it just keeps getting worse with these people. Not just Della Vlogs, but all of them. If anything, this is just more proof that they will stop at nothing to capitalize on any situation going on in their life. And they'll say, we're raising awareness. Are you? Okay, let's talk about it. If you don't know what's going on with these, Kathy graduates today, and so I'm very proud of her. So I'm heading out to her graduation as soon as this video is done. Very, very excited for my wife. Very proud of her for finishing school, and now she's a nurse, and she's really good at it too, not gonna lie. So congrats, Kathy. I know she doesn't watch my videos, but congrats. We all love you. Anyway, that's why I look like this, because I want to get out of here and get going. Anyway, so let's get to this video. So we left off yesterday with me kind of coming to terms with, with me wrestling with the fact that, is this a scam? Yes. And if it is, why would they capitalize and why would they show everything, the birth? Like, why would they show telling their family? Why would they show everything? Having a gender reveal, going to the store to buy things? Why show all that while waiting in the wings was this video where they finished talking about the scam, right? Why not just eat your embarrassment and not put it on the internet? Because these people have no shame, that's why. These people don't care that they've been embarrassed, been scammed. And they're going to be like, I guarantee you sometime in this video they're going to say, we're doing it to raise awareness about scams. Okay. Anyway, let's watch this garbage pile of video. And there's one thing we're going to allude to too, obviously, about her mother coming up soon. You saw it in the last video. Some people were asking. It's going to be very telling. So let's do this.
They're identical twin girls.
And this is why I can't take them seriously about this story. Because instead of just being regular human beings about it, they've got to dramatize it by putting in sad music over top of the overlay of the other video. And they're like, if you dramatize things on purpose, I can't take you seriously. It means you're not taking it seriously. Get wrecked. By Chrissy Weems, I think it is. Her mother's actually the one that owns Origami Owl, that started Origami Owl. And basically, there's a woman, Susan Brock, who was charged with molesting over a 3-year period a young minor. Okay, and her mother and Bella's mother helped or tried to help cover it up. So I'm just wanted to show you that quickly because we're going to go into why all this kind of matters about where it is. And I start that because I want to show you guys where this all goes to, right? This all does tie into Origami Owl, to MLMs, to people who do shady shit and pretend to be something that they're not online, right? To the point where they will literally exploit adoption. They will reach out to their audience to give us a baby, and then they'll exploit the situation that happened to them, all for cash and fame.
Looking in the mirror, trying to steady yourself and seeing somebody else. And everything is not the same.
We didn't have time to put in one video. Okay. But we made this dramatic video for the second one.
The past 2 months, we believed that we were going to be adopting identical twin girls. We were so excited. We got everything prepared.
I don't believe it.
We got our nursery ready. We have 2 cars.
This is like, and again, they're doing this because they're sad fishing. And if you go look at their comments, even their hater threads are full of people like, well, this one is bad. I feel sorry for them. They achieved what they were looking for. But they didn't have to do any of this. Okay, they didn't have to be scammed if they would have just done it properly and not tried to skirt the system and jump the line. I saw a lot of the comment like that, jumping the line, which tells you a lot. There are, I don't know if there are millions, but probably hundreds of thousands of awaiting parents in the US and Canada who want to adopt a baby. Okay, what they really are doing is jumping the line by using their massive platform by saying things like, if you know somebody's giving away a baby, holla! Like, you don't do it. Okay, they are jumping the queue. And those people who can't do that, they don't get that opportunity to do that. And what it does is it sets them up to be scammed, which is what happened here, I think. And so that's one big thing you can't overlook, is the idea that it's basically, I mean, it's human trafficking. I'm sorry. Because if it turns out that they ended up paying this woman for whatever reason, that's basically paying for a baby, which is, in my opinion, and maybe not the legal opinion, maybe not the law, that's human trafficking. If you want a baby so bad you're willing to pay for it, you're willing to buy a baby, what other conclusion could you come up with?
Seats, and we just come to find out that it was all a big scam. And this woman
Can't take you seriously when you're putting light piano music behind your shit.
was not only scamming us, but she was scamming multiple other families. And it's been really hard for us to wrap our mind around. And the biggest thing that we found out that has been really hard for us to process is this woman was never even pregnant.
You knew. You fucking knew.
It just blows my mind. We met her in person multiple times. We did.
Take this with a grain of salt and know that they're doing this with music behind it because they're not serious. These people are faking this for the camera. And you know how we know they fake things for the camera? Because when they were on Matt and Abby's podcast, they dropped the bomb. It's all fake for videos. All of their pranks, all fake all the time. Their whole channel was built on lies. I know they call it fake, but that's a lie. You're lying to your audience. And so if your whole identity and all of your fame and all your money came from lying to your audience, why should we believe you now? You guys used fakery and lying as an opportunity to get ahead and grow a massive following, which is what you're doing now. And all we have to do is look at your own comments on Matt and Abby. That's it. These people grifted off lying. I know it's just pranks, whatever. It's just a prank, bro. I get that. But when your whole entire channel is built off lies and fakery, you do not get the privilege of having people believe you now.
Birthing classes with her. Our parents.
You went to birthing classes with this lady?
Flew out there and met.
And you didn't see red flags?
These other families met her. She met with an agency, and the whole time she had on a fake bump and was faking pregnancy. She wasn't pregnant, and I'm in shock.
No, you're not.
I'm literally.
You knew it was gonna happen.
Really in shock. I can't even.
We're so much in shock that we turned cameras on and made a 2-part video series. We're so in shock. I'm in shock at this. This thing almost has 1 million views already. I'm not in shock. I actually know that because people want to see this shit. This is what they know. I'm in shock. You sound like you're in shock, bro. This is like Tara Henderson level shock.
Process what has happened over the last 2 weeks of finding out.
She's trying to fake the tears here. I'm looking for everything now that in my mind, I'm considering everything that they're doing fake and a lie right now. So I'm looking for the signs of it. Right? I know that might be a biased thing. It's fine. I'm looking at her trying to conjure tears here, and he's like, I'm in shock, but he doesn't have any emotions whatsoever about anything. So, okay.
And I really am. I'm excited to share this story because the last thing I ever want to have.
You're excited to share this story? I'm sure you are. You know why he's excited to share this story? And maybe that was a little bit of a oops, shouldn't have said that. Is because they're excited to make a bunch of money off this scam. Right? And they likely were catfished. But what my opinion is on this is that they knew they were being catfished and they saw the red flags early, but they're going to be aloof to it and say, oh, we didn't, yeah, we sort of saw it, maybe we didn't, but they still capitalized on it. And that's why. That's why he's excited to show you.
Is another family gets scammed like this. So if you can learn from our mistakes,
there it is.
Learn from what we did wrong, then I hope it can help somebody else out there.
You assholes.
They thought their dreams were about to come true, adopting a baby boy due in January.
I was pretending to be pregnant.
The adoption scandal imposter.
She had hurt so many families.
Shireen Guernsey is accused of convincing 4 different families.
The judge handed her a 20-year sentence.
I feel like there are some mistakes that we made, and
yeah. Mostly you guys are being dumbasses. And here are the major mistakes that she made without even telling me what they were. Is that she tried to use their massive platform to ask their fans to give them a baby or find out if they know someone who's given away a baby. Again, that I don't think they realized the atrocity of what they said and what they expected. Do you guys realize how fucking bad that is? They want a baby for the accessory of the baby. They want a baby because they can be with their other friends who are having babies online. Their friends, admittedly so, are just the other family vloggers who are all having babies. Apparently they have beef with JD Vlogs or something I've been reading. I found that out too. I don't know who that is. I think I saw a video, somebody said I should cover them. They're having babies, and so these people are in a rush, a panic to get a child. And in my opinion, for all the wrong reasons. Based on what he has even said about not, adoption is quitting. If you compile everything together about what we've seen so far, and the fact that they are exploiting this situation for cash too, it's not hard. It's not a bridge too far to think that these people are just disgusting.
Things that I would do differently looking back now. But a lot of the things were just out of our control, and things that really, we talked to an adoption consultant, and she said she has never seen a scam like this in 30 years of doing this.
I'm sure she hasn't. You talked to the agency after the scam? Cool. You idiots. There's your biggest mistake right there. And if you will read the Reddit thread after this, because there's a lot of great people in there that had some crazy things to say who have been through this process. And everybody's going to the red flags and saying, there's no way that they would have done any of this. They knew this shit was going on, and they capitalized on it by doing those videos because they needed to do those other videos to get the virality. I'm sure it's over 1 million views right now. Let's take a look. There it is. 1 million views 1 day ago. Now this one's already at 1 million views as of 15 hours ago. And I know that I'm often giving the unpopular opinion about certain things on this channel. Like sometimes it's popular opinion, everybody agrees that exploitation is wrong. But I know that this is an unpopular opinion to have about this video, and I know that I'll probably get a little bit ratioed for it, but I can't help it. I can't let this one slide. These people cannot be allowed to get away with this, sad fishing on a scam that they likely knew was a scam, so that they can make hundreds of thousands of dollars off the videos of it. Sorry. It is absolutely atrocious what they have done.
At the very beginning, Bella and I were very skeptical. We wanted to make sure that everything went very well with the whole adoption process.
We had heard of scams.
Boom! Right there, the video ends. At the very beginning, we were skeptical. So if you were skeptical at the very beginning, what were your next steps? To just continue filming it and everything else and getting excited and crying with your eyeliner running? That was your answer to this skepticism you had about this? Not to reach out to a lawyer or to an adoption agency first and say, look, this is a thing, go get it, do the thing we're paying you to do. So if you're skeptical from the beginning, that tells me right there that the conversation you guys had in the back end was, hey, what if this is fake? It likely is fake. Let's still capitalize on it. And that's what you damn well did.
Before, there were people who warned us of scams, and so we were very skeptical of everything that came through. The day that we
So then why would you release the other video?
Posted our adoption video, we started getting an influx of messages of people who had leads on different people who were placing a baby for adoption.
Boom. That's what people are upset about too. They posted that video knowing, hey, if you know somebody, then she just admitted it right there. We got an influx of people giving away babies. Holy shit.
So we happened to see one message pop up that day, and she said she was placing twins for adoption, and we were really excited.
Why are they blanking out their text messages and not hers? Be interesting. Keep an eye on that.
Because we've always dreamed of having twins.
Yeah.
Red flag number 1, apparently twin adoptions, I didn't know this, but are very few.
You absolutely knew
Few
this.
and far between. Or someone who is adopting, if someone says they're going to be placing twins, just be a little bit more skeptical about that.
Be completely skeptical. Now, they're doing this because they knew this was going to happen, and they say, honestly, this is how the conversation probably went. Look, if this is a scam, we'll do a video on what to do, how to avoid it. We'll bring awareness. That's exactly what they did. That's 100% the conversation they had.
Because a lot of scammers use that to take advantage.
But we started talking to this female. I don't even want to call her an expecting mom because of what she did, but...
Okay, Wish, John Cena, relax.
We started talking to this female, and the mess...
Okay, you talked me into it. I'm going to have 2 tonight. And again, why are they blanking out their shit?
Messages that she would send us and the texts that were going back and forth just seems...
That was a... Oh, so they're showing the scam, how they got scammed.
So perfect.
Could have avoided this entire scam, everybody. Just could have avoided it. If you went through the agency, which you've already signed up for and likely pay for, why are you trying to do shortcuts? What are we missing here? They have the agency. They probably have a lawyer. Why did they miss this? Why didn't they go through the proper channels? When they signed up for the home study and all that stuff and were approved for it all, they were probably had to go to multiple classes which talked about shit like this. And they said, if you get a baby, blah, blah, blah. And their agency probably said, look, I know you guys are famous on YouTube. And if this happens, here's this process. If someone texts you and says they have a baby for you, here's what you do. Are you telling me the agency didn't tell you that? Okay.
And looking back, we said it a couple of times. This is too good to be true. And the reality was,
listen to this. There it is. If you think something is too good to be true, use your better judgment, trust your gut, and get shit done properly. They knew this from the beginning is my whole argument on this thing. It's not that they didn't get scammed. My argument was they knew they were being scammed while it was going on. I'm calling this reverse catfishing, because what they did was they knew they were being catfished. They kept it going. They wanted to see how far it would go for the content of it. I'm alleging it because they're never going to ever tell us the truth. But basically it's reverse catfishing. If you had all these red flags and you were super skeptical and all this kind of stuff, then why didn't you just go through the channels so you could avoid the heartbreak? They reverse catfished, meaning they knew what was going on. And then they filmed all that shit that was going on during it so they could sad fish in the video and make hundreds of thousands of dollars off of this and think that their fame would go higher. And it would. They probably are gaining tons of subscribers right now. They're probably going to be in the news for all this. It's going to be short-lived, but they will get a boost out of it. They already have. Okay? But when it comes out that this shit is fake, and I mean fake as in like they knew it was going on and then maybe we'll never know. But if it ever did come out, oh shit. Right? I'm telling you they knew. And they used it to their advantage, which, okay, fine. That person likely deserves that. Hopefully they go to jail if they're doing this to other people. But those other people this person's likely scammed, you don't see them making videos about this shit, do you?
We've been talking for about 2 weeks at this point. She lives in California, which is close to us. So we said, okay, we'll fly out there and we'll meet you for lunch. So we met.
It's making me mad because the first video, they did the whole giant first part of that video like it was all good. Right? Now, and this video was already done and waiting in the wings, by the way. They did that. That is the fucking grossest. They basically catfished their fucking audience. They've basically lied to their entire audience by putting that whole thing together, knowing that this was coming next. Do you guys see that? Even those who support these two people, you've got to admit right there, that's a little bit shady. They knew all they had to do was release this video. Right? They could do all these things and said, look, we even had a gender reveal. We told our parents, blah, blah, blah. Instead, they made that first video look like it was all good until the last 5 seconds of the video. Then they're like, but it was fake. That to me is the most disgusting part of this whole story. They catfished their audience and now they're capitalizing on the sad fishing here looking like this. They don't get the grace. They deserve to be called out by everybody for doing this. The adoption community is a very tight-knit community. It is full of people who have heartbreak just like them, who can't have children. Okay? And by doing this, what they're doing, they're diminishing that. They're taking away from the adoption community. They are staining it. And people who are in the adoption community should be up in arms about what they're doing right now. They should be upset. The adoption agency should drop these jackasses. They don't deserve it. Okay? What they're doing is tainting the adoption industry, for lack of a better term. Okay? For their own selfish gains.
Her for lunch, and at that lunch, she looked us in the eyes and said that she thinks we would be perfect parents for those girls. And
of course they're going to post pictures of her. Of course they are.
That she wanted us to adopt them, and she basically, I mean, like, she had like tears in her eyes telling us this, saying how she had been praying
you had tears in your eyes and you were faking it too, so it's not hard.
Find people like us to adopt these babies, and that we were like a miracle for her.
Over the next couple of weeks, we continued just talking over text, and it came to a point where she kind of encouraged us to get the nursery ready completely. She said that it would make her feel more comfortable that at any time these twins could be born, because a lot of times twins come early. She said it would make her feel a lot more comfortable if we were completely ready on our end.
Which I think is so cruel to do to someone who's been struggling with infertility for 5 years. Like,
oh, here comes the sad fish. No. You don't get to do that here. At this point, if this was getting this serious and she was most comfortable if you guys were to put up a thing and all that, fine. You know what? You're right, girl. But at this point, it sounds like it's getting really serious, and we're really excited about this. And so we're going to connect you with our agency. We're going to connect you with a lawyer. We get some paperwork signed, and then we're all good. Right? And if that girl walks away at that point, so be it. You're safe. Your heart is safe from being broken. Other people that she's likely doing this to, they're safer because you called her out. Because you didn't do your due diligence, because you wanted to jump the line and you wanted a baby so badly because everybody else is having babies, you lost your judgment. You guys are not ready for babies, okay? You can't even read red flags from scammers. And you've been scammed because of your channel and your fame and everything else. And you want to bring a child into this world that you've created? You want to bring a kid into this. Knowing you've been scammed, knowing you're likely going to continue to be scammed, you're going to bring a kid into this heartbreak? Again, maybe that's an organization I have to create. We've got to lobby adoption agencies to put in contracts. You're not allowed to show these kids at this capacity or this capacity or this capacity until they're 18. And that can mean like post on Facebook, sure, post a picture of kids at the park, right? But if you make your living as an influencer, nope. These things are no. If you can't put them in paid advertisements, you can't use them if you make your money on social media, they're not going to be in your content. And if you do that, we reserve the right to sue them. I don't know. I don't know what you can do. Smarter people will do that, right? Lawyers and shit. But if you are an influencer looking to adopt a child, you should have to go through 10 times more stringent things because this is why. This is why. And not only this, is that when they bring the child in, you get a Micah Stoffers fucking situation that could happen. People are adopting for clout and money because it is lucrative. What about that adoption family that had those kids and then they drove off a cliff and killed them all? Okay, this happens. People like this exist, and these people are not honorable. They are not real. They are not who they are showing you to be. Her mother helped hide a pedophile. By the way, that is someone that she looks up to, adores, loves, and wants. How did they pass their home study and all their background checks when their mother is convicted of this, of trying to help a pedophile hide files? And we'll go into a whole deep dive into that in the next video of them, okay? But how did they pass that test when they have a mother who did that, who was okay with helping a pedophile? And I think they admitted in their video that her mother would be a big part of this kid's life. That'd be grandma. How did they pass that? What is going on here? Maybe that's why they're trying to avoid the adoption agencies, because that's coming out now about her mother, who changed her name to Chrissy. And her mother's the one who owns Origami Owl, not her. She's obviously a founding member and she makes a lot of money on it. Let's not forget either. They admitted to faking their entire channel. They have experience. They went on Trash and Scabby's podcast, and I said this already. But not only that, she literally built her wealth off of an MLM. They run an MLM which targets people who are bad at life, make bad decisions. People who are in MLMs, I'm sorry, I was one, so I know. They're generally in dire straits. They don't have any other options. They're trying their best to make money, and they get scammed. MLMs are a scam because they rely on a downline. It's a pyramid scheme. And at the top of the pyramid are these twats making so much cash off poor people. 99% of MLMs, the people in the downlines fail. Or 90%, something like that. Go ask Chelsea, CC Suarez. She knows all about the MLM scams, okay? But most of them fail. Most of them lose money. Most of them. Okay? So this woman has made her entire life off scamming people and lying. So she scams people with MLMs, then she starts this channel where they do fake pranks. Why does nobody see this? And the only people who do see it are the ones on the snark forums. Their fans aren't seeing this. They need to wake up.
That is like the most awful, awful thing ever. And I wish we wouldn't have gotten that nursery ready, because now we have a nursery ready for twins sitting there with all the stuff.
Do yourself a favor then. You're such good people. Your hearts are so big. Find someone in your local community, a church or a birthing, what do you call those things? Pregnancy centers. Okay? Go donate all of it. Make yourself feel good about what you guys are doing here. Go donate everything you did to a pregnancy center if somebody who's having a baby or twins and needs that shit. Okay, once you put it out there in Facebook Marketplace, look, we've got all this stuff for twins. We know some people out there aren't as well off as we are. We would love to donate this to the right person. You make a video about it too, you know? Make yourself look even better. Donate it. Okay? Don't sad fish on the internet. Oh, what was us? We saw red flags but ignored them. No. You can turn this into a positive, a blessing for somebody, because that's a drop in the bucket for the amount of money you made on these videos. A penny. A penny to $100 bill is what you paid for that shit compared to what you're making on this sad fishing vlog. Go donate it. Okay? And if you're smart, don't tell anybody you did it. Okay? You could bless other people through this. It's a silver lining, which you guys claim to be Christians. You could take this bad situation and make it a good situation for someone who deserves it.
Car seats, literally 2 of everything.
She kept saying her doctor was telling her that she thinks the twins are going to be born early, so we need to be prepared. And so, like, we were just like, oh my gosh, we need to kick it into high gear and get...
Yeah, and avoid all of the other things. Now my question again will continue to be, why did you avoid the lawyers and the adoption agency? Why? What's going on? Does the adoption agency know, or should they be aware of, what her mother did? I know it was like 13 years ago or whatever it was, or 10 years ago. I don't care. Any person who would go to bat for a pedophile and illegally try to cover up things that pedophile did should not be around children. Okay? So what is going on? What are you What are you not telling us? Is the reason you're going around the agency and lawyers and everything is because of what's coming out about your mother? We have to ask the question. What is going on?
Everything completely ready, and I have to say, like, it was such a dream come true for that time, being able to like get the nursery ready, and like we've always dreamed of having that experience. And yeah, now we have a nursery sitting there.
I don't understand how you think that this is anybody's fault but your own. Okay, yeah, you were scammed. I've been scammed. I actually do blame myself a little bit for the scam, obviously, because I didn't catch the red flags, or they were really good at scamming, and they're saying this person was really good at scamming. But they were skeptical from the beginning. They said it. When I was catfished, I wasn't skeptical from the beginning. If someone comes to me and says I have cancer and I'm dying, I'm skeptical now, but I wasn't then. Especially the pictures and shit they were sending me, and chemo, and they had their head wrapped and everything else. Like, I get it. I know I'm comparing because I was catfished, and that's the only way I can see this being. I'm trying to compare it because it just happened to me. But they have the ability to, like, this was a little bit of a different scam. They could have avoided all of it by just going through the proper channels and the proper methods of doing what they should have been doing.
The thing that she encouraged us to do was a gender reveal. She said that one of the hardest things about placing these 2 babies.
Okay, I think I always dreamed of meeting the people who would be the most influential in the baby's life before birth, as an extended family or whatever. Brainstorming how to still feel involved too, because I know one of the hardest parts for me about adoption was missing all the exciting things like nursery prep and baby stores. Are they saying that she told them to do a gender reveal through this message?
For adoption was that she felt like she was going to miss out on a lot of the good, the fun things that happen during pregnancy, like a baby shower and a gender reveal. So she said that if we were to throw a gender reveal, she would love to be included in any way and to kind of be a part of that. And so we thought that'd be really cool, and that was kind of our motive for doing a gender reveal like that.
Now, if your next phrase is she was there, then I'd be like, okay, that's a pretty good scam. You flew her out for the gender reveal, or you went out there to do the gender reveal. But she wasn't there, I don't think. I mean, they probably wouldn't have showed her in the video, but was she there? And in that message he just showed us, it did not say anything about that. Why didn't he put up the message where she said, I'd like you to do this? They're reading that wrong, or they're using that as justification for what they did. Well, the girl wanted us to do this, so we did it, and then we filmed it all for our vlog. Show me the text where she said, do this, or you can't have, basically, yeah, it's reverse. 100% this is reverse catfishing.
I feel dumb, and I've like seen comments of
you should feel dumb.
Well, being like, you never jump the gun and do a gender reveal, but like I trusted this girl so much.
Yeah.
That
no, you're blaming this girl for everything, by the way, and I know she's to blame, obviously, because she definitely scammed you. You got to hold some of this blame, okay? Even your adoption agency probably told you, don't do any of this shit until the papers are signed, the baby's with you. And you'll see that in the Reddit forum. A lot of people will say, I did this, and we didn't even do our gender reveal or whatever, blah, 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 the parties, until like a year after the adoption was finalized. It's not normal what they did, because what they did was they did it for content. You can't ever forget and look outside of the idea that everything that they do is for content. They make money on that stuff. Okay? And so they did that because they wanted to make money. If money wasn't involved and view counts weren't involved, they wouldn't have done it. And the only proof you need for that statement is that they filmed it and put it in a video and released the video knowing that this video was next. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
And someone like looks you in the eyes and is like, I hope you guys do a gender reveal. Like, it would make me so happy to see how loved the babies are gonna be. Like, you believe them. And I feel so stupid for believing that and throwing this gender reveal of the gender reveal of my dreams.
You don't feel stupid. You guys made bank on this gender reveal.
We wanted to make it special because, again, we've been waiting to be able to celebrate this baby or babies.
And they still haven't said whether or not she was there. And that's probably something they should have said. And so what I'm going to assume is that this person wasn't there. And so you threw this party for yourselves. She alluded to something like they're going to miss out on all the cool things about it. And then you said, well, let's do a $25,000 gender reveal party and film it for content. And if you were serious about this being with this girl, why wasn't she there then? Make it make sense, folks.
For about 5 years now. And so the whole family was so excited.
God.
And like being able to tell my parents and my family, like, that was so special.
There she is. That woman tried to help a pedophile get out of owning what she did. I can't wait to do the video on that. That woman owns an MLM company worth millions and millions of dollars and has been rewarded for her shitty behavior. Does anybody in Origami Owl know that they work for somebody who helped cover up what a pedophile? Does people in Origami, again, I'm asking everybody, Chelsea, everybody who does MLMs, cover this story. If you work for Origami Owl, you are likely a Christian, first of all, second, or Mormon, or whatever they are, okay? And so how do you justify working for somebody who did one of the most egregious things you could do? She isn't the pedophile, but she went to bat for the pedophile and tried to help cover up and was convicted of it, by the way, everybody. So this person also raised Bella, whatever her name is. That should also tell you everything you need to know.
That moment, she said she didn't have a lot of support at home with.
So, message she sent us acting like her mom. So as you may know, my daughter is 20 years old. The pregnancy is quite literally ruining her life in regards to certain things, including her education. I've always told her to get into. What are your intentions with these babies? What the They are going to be biracial. She says it wasn't consensual, but I know the guy and he just loves her. I will stand behind the guy any day before I stand behind her because she did not listen when I told her to get a. And you didn't take this as a massive ass red flag? I would read this message right here and be like, next thing we're doing is getting a lawyer and my adoption agency involved. Okay? Thanks for these messages. Appreciate it. And you didn't? That was April 3rd. I can't even say to look at her. All she has to do is fast for 24 hours. It's not that hard. She's your problem now. If you want her stupid babies, have fun. I'm kicking her out. How sad is it you can't even go to Disneyland with her because you're hiding from the public? Having that memory for her to tell the girls about would be so special for her. She has so many childhood. Okay, so what's happening here is she's acting like the mother and saying, take her to Disneyland. Why didn't you take her to Disneyland with you? That would have been a memory she could have had with the girls that would have been special for her. So she's acting like this is a scam. And I mean, honestly, anybody with a brain in their head right there, as soon as they see that shit, they're like, hey, this is just a huge scam. I'll come out of here. Or at least just call your adoption agency and say, have you seen anything like this? Again, this is why everything is leading me. The only assumption I can make out of here, everything is leading to the point where they knew this was going on. They are capturing it all so they can make videos about it. There is no other way to, I'm sorry. And they think we're dumb. So I just took a break. I had to go to Everly's school because track and field. And she beat her personal best and came in third in high jump. Proud dad moment. Anyway, sorry. Where were we? They make us look dumb, I think.
A birthing coach in the area in California that lived near her. And we set it up to do private birthing classes to where we would meet in person with her and with the birthing coach and take 9 weeks of birthing classes to be ready for when the twins were born. And we sat with the birthing coach, did different birthing positions, wrote down a whole hospital plan, had everything in order for this birth to go smoothly. We were getting ready. We were prepared.
And here's the question I have. Who paid for that? Did you take her out for dinner? Did you buy her some things while you were there? It's a scam. Obviously, the scam is to get something out of you. A lot of catfishing scams are also to just like, I guess people get off on hurting people and like making them hope things and whatever. But they're not, I don't know if they're going to talk about what money exchanged hands here or what happened, But these people are wealthy. Basically, they're buying a baby. I don't care how, like I know that's a rudimentary way to say this, but that's what they're doing. Okay? They have to sell themselves to this person and get a baby. And so when they go out there, what are they spending? What are they buying? All these kinds of things. They're not going to tell you that stuff. That's how the sausage is made for some of this stuff. And I understand why it's illegal sometimes to do these types of things because, again, it's basically trafficking. If you were allowed to sell your baby when you had it, I mean, that gets crazy. And that's why it's kind of like illegal. I think you can pay a surrogate, but it has to be through legal channels, and there are things you can do. So I do know that there is legal ways of doing things, but with the adoption world, I don't think you can just pay somebody. I know it happens, but I don't think legally you're allowed to. Like, there are ways around it. You pay for medical bills. You pay for if they need things, they groceries, they need these. I get that. They pay for their expenses to house the baby, for lack of a better term, and bring the baby to term and so all this stuff. But there is ways around it. And you know what happens? You know, wealthy people who want babies will do these things. Now, I'm not saying that's what they did, but I'm saying they're not going to tell you what was spent.
Yeah, that was the hardest thing is like every week we're like talking about like new steps in the birthing plan of like what she was wanting. And so
I just want the babies out as fast and painless as possible for my birth plan. I want us to all agree on a birth plan. There's so many red effing flags in here that you didn't see this. And it's odd coming from somebody who literally scams other people for a living. Della, or whatever, Bella scams people through an MLM for a living. This person is in sales and has been in sales for years, says that she has 4,000 people that she employs or whatever she calls it. And you can't read people? I don't believe it, is what I'm telling you.
I was just trying to be as supportive as possible because it's just been my dream, like when we do match with an expecting mother, to be able to just support her in any way. Like, I know
that's not your dream. Your dream is to take the child that she's going to birth. That's your dream. Your dream is to have a baby because everybody's having babies, and it's just you guys feel like you just want one because everybody else is having one. I understand wanting to be a mother, guys. I understand wanting to be a parent. Even growing up, I wanted to be a dad. I get it. I understand that visceral need to be that because it is encoded in our DNA. I get it, right? But you got to be careful too, right? And all these people who want this stuff, it's really hard to get around the fact that they want it partially because it's an accessory to their perfect life. That really should hit people.
How hard it has to be for that expecting mother who is going to be placing a baby or babies for adoption. And I want to make it the best experience for them because I have such a heart for them. And so
I have a heart for you.
I was just researching like crazy, anything that I could do to make the birth as amazing of an experience as it could be for her.
Our main goal while talking with her was to get her to meet with our agency. We knew once she would go in person and meet with our agency, then at that point it would become just a done deal. We had talked with...
Agreed. So why didn't you?
Our agency over the phone. We had talked with our adoption consultant, and she had actually talked to our agency. She had over an hour Zoom call with a social worker at our agency. They went over the whole process of adoption. They went over different birth plans, all her different options that she has to meet with other families or to parent the kids.
Little did we know.
So this is why your agency didn't pick up on it. Because you didn't send them the responses you were getting, the text messages. All they did was their probably initial intake, which they do for everybody. I guess they don't want to assume everybody's scamming. But honestly, if an adoption agency doesn't have a sieve or a filter for scammers, that's a red flag for me. So if the agency understood the messages you were sending back and forth, this probably would have been a lot different. Why didn't you share that with your agency? That's really interesting.
She was kind of pushing off those appointments to meet in person, like something would always come up.
And at that point, you're like, all right, we're done. We are no longer having any conversations until you meet in person with our agency and you do everything we need to do. At this point, you get it. You guys, this is why I'm thinking that they kind of knew. Like they were kind of reverse catfishing the shit. And that's fine. Scammers should be scammed too. I get that, right? But at this point, they're telling you every red flag that they did pick up on and yet still made the video that they made? You gotta be kidding me.
But she did officially agree to go to one of those appointments, and it was within the next couple days before we actually found out what happened.
But what's so mind-blowing is the excuses she had for not going into the agency were so real and so thought after that we believed them, and we shouldn't.
You guys did it because of this. This is the proof, what you guys are doing right here, with the music behind it and the sad faces and everything else. You knew. And you probably were, I mean, they probably weren't hoping it was a scam. They knew it was a scam, but they said, well, if it's not, then it's a bonus, we get 2 babies. But if it is a scam, it's a bonus, we get to make this video. You can't get around it, because their entire channel is built on lies and fakery.
I'll be the first one to admit we shouldn't have believed them, but we did. She talked about how the pregnancy was non-consensual and that she had a lot of trauma and PTSD from that whole situation, which is real, and that is a whole other issue, and I can't even believe that she would make that up.
Our hearts were just broken for her, like when we heard that and her telling us that. And so
turn down your shitty music in the background.
We were so, like, we understood 100%. We're like, you know what, like, you take your time, because we know how hard this has to be for you to process all of this. Like, we're here for you, and we're praying for you, and we hope that you are able to meet with the agency when you feel ready.
And she took advantage of that. She took her time, and she kept putting off the going into the agency and meeting with person, because what the agency does is they specifically look for scams, and they verify pregnancy. They verify.
And you didn't do that early? The first thing you do when this shit starts going is like, hey, we're not going to even go anywhere forward now at all. And I know they'll probably say that now, but no, they didn't. And why didn't you share the messages with the agency? And maybe they did, and the agency then is shit. That's what I'm saying.
That this is actually all going to go through, and she knew that, and that's why she didn't want to go in. I was sitting at my desk one night, and I got an email, and it said, urgent message, I need to talk to you about...
She sent these saying it was the gender reveal of her babies to several, and I mean several families, thinking they have a chance to adopt her twins. I'm in a group of hopeful adoptive parents, and we all have all been talking with her, and she's telling everyone that they are top of her list. Please hear us out. Here's my number. I'm so sorry she's playing you guys. She's talking to like 10 agencies. Please give us a chance to share our stories. We don't want you guys to be swindled.
This expecting mom that you and Bella are talking about, I have a lot of critical information about her. And at that point, my heart sank. I was still in a little bit of denial. I didn't want to believe it. But in the back of my head, I knew something was wrong.
And he's saying it right now. He got that message. And all you need to know about these types of people right here, is that they still released that first video. They still filmed all that stuff. They still edited it, spent time on it, put music behind it and everything else. In a video that looked like everything was going great. The crying, the tears, the happiness, the joy, the traveling, the everything. They knew this so long ago, and yet still put that video together for the end of the video to say, watch for part 2 where it all goes wrong. Everything you need to know about this story is about that first video. Everything you need to know about these people as people is in that first video. They knew they were scammed and swindled, and yet still released that as to, like, there's no other way to put that except for saying it was absolute clickbait in every single way. The video itself was a lie, a magnanimous lie all the way through. Because they knew right at the end they would put that little thing, watch for the next one. It's too long. That to me is the most egregious part of this entire story. Sure, do this video that you got scammed, fine. Don't do the first video though. There was no reason to do that. You could even have put those little clips in here and said, look, we even did this, and we got hardcore scammed. What's not sitting right with people was the first video that you capitalized on to over 1 million views as of 24 hours later. That's what people are upset about, that you capitalized on this scam that you were a part of. You didn't have to do that. That's the big point here.
Knew that this is where it all falls apart.
And then I ended up getting an Instagram DM from the same person who sent the email, and she's like, you guys really need to talk to me. I have some really critical information. And I just knew, like, right then.
Oh, because she was sending pictures of the gender reveal, so she was there. Or did you send her pictures and she used those pictures? They still have not clarified whether or not this mother was at the gender reveal party. This very, very swanky, expensive party that they threw. I think that matters. It really does here.
And there was like, yeah, this is very serious. Like, we just have to talk to this girl. And I never expected the information that we got. In the Instagram message, she attached a bunch of photos, and they were personal photos of mine and Della.
Why do you have Schindler's List music behind this? You lose all credibility, honestly. When you guys are trying to tell a serious story, but you're adding dramatic music. Take the music out. This is a big deal. Like, if you're going to do a different video about something else, okay, I sort of even get that, right? But this is not the time to do this. You guys are fake all the way through, and it's really, really pissing me off.
From our gender reveal. And sending them to other families and pretending like you guys are her friends and saying that we threw her a surprise gender reveal party. Well, luckily, this girl who DM'd me, she recognized us from the photos and was like, wait, that's Bella and Dallin. I have to talk to them because this woman and her husband were talking to this expecting mom at the same time as us. So we immediately got on the phone with her and started talking to her, and obviously we were just crushed to find out that she had been talking to this family for about 2 months.
And I guarantee you they filmed that conversation. Yeah, they did. You're probably not going to put it in because the person doesn't want to be named, but you know that they filmed that shit.
We came to find out that this other family actually had a gender reveal as well, and this expecting mom was at the gender reveal with them, with all their family there. This expecting mom went and helped them set up a nursery and was just heavily involved in their lives as well. And as we started talking with her, we found out a lot of inconsistencies in the stories that the expecting mom was telling us, and the different stories that she was telling this other family. So as we were talking with this other family, they had a great idea to go on Facebook and to post on a group that's called Ending Adoption Scams and see if this expecting mom was talking to any other families or if she had been involved in any other scams. And as they posted a picture of her, said where she was from. Multiple other people started popping up in the comments and in the messages saying that they were also talking to her. How we found out that she wasn't pregnant was we compiled and made a group of all the families that she was talking to. We all started texting and talking over Facebook, and we started sharing all of our stories that we were being told, which they were all different, they were all lies, and we all started sharing pictures as well. And one of the other families sent over a picture to us, but she didn't crop it. She was telling this other family that she was only 5 or 6 weeks pregnant at that time and that her stomach was flat. So when I compared the two photos, I realized right there that she had a flat stomach. And there was no way that what she was telling us as being 26 weeks pregnant with twins at that point, that she can make her stomach that flat.
So what I'm seeing and hearing, if I'm hearing this right, is all this time this guy's compiling all this evidence because he's going to make this video, right? And I get being mad and doing videos and being scammed, and you get to do that, right? But at the same time, again, the reverse catfishing thing is coming into play. They talked about early how they knew all about all the red flags. They were already skeptical right from the beginning, right from the get-go, and they just skipped over everything because I honestly think that they were just doing this for content. I'm not even joking. Like, I know that I honestly think they do want to adopt a baby, and I do believe that. But I also believe that they will take anything that comes their way to create content. Because look at the view counts they're getting.
So the first thing I did was I wanted to get on a phone call with her and ask her what she thought of this photo. What was her excuse? What was her reasoning of having a flat stomach?
She didn't know that we knew yet that she was scamming us.
Yeah, she wasn't aware that we were already talking to these other families, and she didn't know that we knew that she was scamming us. So when I got on the phone with her, the first thing she told me was that it was an old photo. But I noticed in the photo, actually Bella noticed, that she was wearing the necklace that Bella gave her.
You're giving her jewelry, are you? Now I know it's Origami Allen's probably worthless, it's probably a piece of shit. But still, you're giving gifts. And you're paying for dinners, and you're doing all these, flying out, and you're paying for birthing classes, doing all this stuff. When, again, you're admitting that you're giving them gifts of monetary value. I don't think you're allowed to do that.
A week ago, and there was no way that was an old photo.
Because when we saw her in person, she had a big bump, and I gave her this, and she had told me that she was 24, 25 weeks pregnant.
No, it was 26.
26 weeks pregnant.
At that time. And so I told her over the...
I need you to look at Della, is her name, and watch how her demeanor changes throughout this whole thing. I know we're already halfway, 3/4 of the way through the video. But there's times where he's talking and she's like conjures like this hurt face. And then when she talks about the scam, she gets like all business. Okay, don't miss that. I'm not a person that can read body language. Like, I trust my gut and I can read people generally, but I'm not like a professional at reading body language. But what I'm reading when it comes to her, when she talks about this, she's hurt and upset about it. But then when he starts talking, she like switches to the soft side of sadness. Don't miss that.
Phone, I said, hey, this isn't an old photo actually, because you're wearing the necklace that Bella gave you. And it got silent for a little bit, and then she said, oh, well, I'm sucking in. And I said, there's no way. You're not sucking in. It's impossible. As you can see in the photo, right? It's impossible to be sucking in 26-week-old twins.
Oh, how do you know? Well, that's true, actually. Twins, I'll give them that. I forgot about the twin part.
It's just impossible. And so I just knew it was over at that point. And if she was going to continue to lie and try and just make up stories, there was really no point. Other families started investigating this whole situation, and we started looking into more. We actually confirmed with other people near her, people that are close to her, people that she works with, that she is not pregnant. We even reached out to her mom on Facebook and got a message from her saying that.
Again, why do you keep blanking out your own text messages? That's super sus, man.
She was not pregnant. It just blows my mind. I don't know why somebody with fake pregnancy, I don't know why someone would go through 8 hours of in-person birthing classes, tell us to fly out there to hang out with them. Our first reaction was that maybe she thought it would be really cool to hang out with YouTubers, or I don't know, Bella and I, but
I mean, you got to put that into consideration there for a second, and also realize how dangerous that is, because that is a consideration. She just wanted to hang out with cool YouTubers, I guess, and that was the way to do it, and that just shows you that there are creepy people watching you. If you need more proof of the creepy ass people that are creating relationships with you, look no further. How else did that person know who they were? They put a video out about this, and she scammed them, right? She watches them. This is who watches you, and you're going to bring a kid into that?
This was all happening way before we were even in the picture. The family that she was, the family that
she, look at her face. She's all mad about that.
She was scamming before us was going on months before we even had the first contact with her. So I don't know why. I really just do not understand why someone would fake pregnancy and go through all of that for what?
A scam. It's a scam. Either, again, I said the three things. People do it because they like the control they have over you, your emotions and stuff like that, or they're trying to scam you out of money or shit, or they're trying to get close to you because they like you. All three are bad, and all three are your own fault.
I mean, I don't understand.
There was no money ever exchanged with any of the families. The only one family ever gave her a $200 gift card to buy maternity clothes.
Yeah.
So
you gave her jewelry. That's worth money. You flew out there. Did you buy meals? Probably. I'm saying, I know she's saying no money was ever exchanged, and this probably would have been the biggest red flag for them. But if this person got, classes, which I don't know what birthing classes are going to help you, but if they got jewelry, if, I don't know, they got messages, maybe you bought them expensive dinners when you went out. I don't know. Lots of things.
None of us gave her money, so I don't know what the intentions were. And one of the things that she would always do that made me so happy was she would send us ultrasound pictures. I looked forward to them and I got so excited. We were always still skeptical because her name wasn't on the ultrasound, but
every time they say this, don't forget it. They were always so skeptical and yet continued with it. Meaning that again, I'll continue to say this. They knew this was a scam and we're going to do this video. And if it ended up not being a scam, then they win. They saw it as a win-win. But we're all seeing it now. That's a lose-lose on our end, the way we see all this. You keep saying you're so skeptical, and yet you did nothing.
She said she just cropped it out for privacy purposes, and we just understood that. We even would reverse image search the pictures, and none of them ever came up. She sent us this ultrasound, and then we quickly Google searched it, and we found it on the internet for $9.99.
FakeUltrasounds.com, $9.99. You can buy it. You can input your name. You can input the doctor. It was fake. I even
Who the hell would do that?
Asked her, I said, hey, if you have like a verification letter of pregnancy or anything like that, send it over. Like, I want you to prove that you're pregnant because everything that we've been finding out has shown that you're not pregnant. And she said, okay, I have a letter.
What you should have done as soon as you found out was call the police, call the FBI or whatever. This is a scam. Why would you keep leading her on? Except for you needed more content for your video to prove that you were right. Like, as soon as you know this shit was a scam, all your families that you're connected to in this group, all of you should have just called the police or called the fraud or whatever. You should have just lawyered up is what you should have done. But none of you did that, did you? Well, these two didn't do that. Why didn't you do that? Right? You just kept leading her on, giving her a chance to get the out to run away. I don't know. Why don't you just take the information you had and hand it over to law enforcement?
Send it over. And 10 minutes later, she texted us a letter, and I got on the internet, and within 5 minutes I found a PDF fill-in online form, and clearly it was fake as well.
I think I'm at a point, I just feel so gross about it, and it's so sickening that someone could do this to multiple families. And I don't know. This is honestly the hardest video I think we're ever gonna make, especially for me. I just feel so anxious. And
this is the hardest video we're gonna make tons of money off of. You didn't have to make this video. They all say this. I wasn't gonna make this video. It's the hardest video we ever had to make. Then don't make the fucking video. All you have to do is say, guys, we want privacy this time. We've been scammed. Okay? It's terrible. And for more information, head over to this page. It talks about adoption scams. That's kind of what happened to us. We don't really get into it. We're really embarrassed. And that's it. But they don't. They sit down in their perfect mansion. They put sad music behind their talking. So don't ever listen to any of these people when they say something stupid like this. This is the hardest. You're off. Nobody fucking believes you. If it were that hard, you wouldn't do it.
I'm scared putting this out there because it is very vulnerable and very raw. It's very real.
We're unreal.
And raw still. We're
raising awareness, real and raw.
We're in the thick of it right now. I'm grieving. I'm really having a hard time. And so
cut to these sad scenes.
Appreciate the sweet comments from people and
there it is.
Everything.
They all say this too. We appreciate our supporters. And I get that. I understand what happened to you is shitty, right? I totally understand that. But you did not have to capitalize on it either. None of the other families that got scammed capitalized on it like this. But you guys did. It's very interesting. And the thing is, we'll never know. They're not going to come out and say, we knew this was going on. We're going to make content out of it. But the conversation went in the back end that this shit all had to be put together. And again, the only thing you need for proof of that is the first video. The first clickbait video. They put it out there. Oh, it's a twin gender reveal. Why did you even put that title in there, knowing that this video is coming out next? That is unbelievable.
Because this has been the hardest thing that
there comes
I've
the tears.
ever gone through in my life. And I just feel like every day is different. I'm happy one day, I'm sad one day.
If you have to turn your camera on while you're grieving, crying with your husband there, I don't believe anything you put out. Nobody does this. If you are grieving for real, put your hand up if you've ever had to grieve in your life. Was your first inclination to film the grieving process? No? Yeah, me too. Nobody does that because it's fake, okay? Nobody does that because it's inhuman to do that. Nobody buys babies because it's inhuman to do that. It is immoral what you're doing. You know what else people don't do? They don't protect pedophiles, and they don't protect those who protect pedophiles. That's what people don't do. Okay? And then they make millions of dollars. These people, man, damn it, they just keep getting worse.
Angry.
I don't know how to feel right now. I feel so betrayed. I feel sad. I just feel heartbroken.
One of the most
You're angry, now you're sad.
terrible things I've ever seen somebody do. And to not only deceive us, but to deceive so many other families, my heart breaks for them. There's so many other families that found out the same day that we found out. We all came together and shared our stories, and we found out that it was all fake.
And we're the only ones going to make $50,000 to $75,000 off our story. Those people can just grieve in poorness. But we capitalized on this. We made money, gained subscribers. We're probably going to be in the news for this. Those other families? F those other families. That first video. I wouldn't even have that much to say about this. I wouldn't even be that pissed if they didn't release the first video. Everybody needs to understand the first video is the pivotal point in this entire story. It did not need to happen. They capitalized on it.
She deceived a birthing coach. She deceived my parents. My parents flew out there. She deceived Bella's parents. She even wrote my parents a really nice letter. And it blows my mind that someone could write such a profound, loving letter, all for it to be fake.
It's interesting to you guys. It blows my mind that people can do things that are so fake. And yet you guys admitted that your entire channel was fake. How dare you get up here? You built a fan base of people who thought that shit was real, by the way, probably. Even the videos that you do, sad, all that shit, that's all fake, everybody. How dare you get up here, you hypocrite, and talk about how I can't understand how somebody can be fake when you're fake.
So I just want to say, The main reason we wanted to put this out there is to show
Raise
that
awareness?
everybody goes through hard things. Like, I still have faith
That's the reason you're doing this? Yeah, I don't believe you. The reason you're doing this is for money.
at the end of this, knowing that our happy ending is going to come one day. And we've been through a lot. Like, we've been through a lot to be able to get our baby. But I know when we do, it's going to be all worth it. So
I hope your adoption agency takes note of what you've been doing here. Like, this should be a red flag on your adoption agency. These people aren't ready for babies. Holy shit. These people have a mother that protected a pedophile. That's a no-go. That's a red flag that's going to pop out pretty soon. That's going to go pretty viral. I'm doing an entire video on it. Of course I am. These people should not be putting their child in front of a person that's willing to protect a pedophile. That's egregious, man. Why has she ever spoken on that? That is egregious. Then they try to jump the queue and use their immense platform to see if they can get a score a baby off someone that their fans might know or their fans have. You know how crazy that is? Man, this is nuts. This should be a scandal. The newspaper should be covering it like I'm covering this. This is a no-go. Yes, that person is a scammer and a shitty-ass person for doing that. Yes, but don't do this with it.
it's been the wildest thing. I did not expect this to happen when we chose the adoption route. It's been such a hard journey, and I think the hardest thing is, like, we felt so hopeful going
Listen to this music. Just listen to music.
into it. We felt like, you know, we've struggled with infertility, and that was our hard trial, and surely adoption would be the happy ending to our story. And then it hasn't been, and it's just been really, really hard, and I feel, honestly,
Listen to the music.
like, this has been very traumatic for us to go through and to navigate. And so
Stop using the word traumatized, traumatic, blah, 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 when clearly it's not. If you actually had a traumatic event that's like you are saying, like to this degree, who here has had a major traumatic event and like not a week later can just make a video about it, sitting down and talk about it? Right? Again, that's how I honestly believe that they thought this was a scam from the beginning, and they just wanted to, again, they went through the process so that they could make a video about it.
I don't really know how to feel right now. But
Okay.
At the end of the day, I think obviously this is a big trial for us, but we still have hope that this is going to work out somehow, some way. And I still have faith knowing that maybe this was supposed to happen to us so we could educate other people and share our stories so other people are more cautious.
Raising awareness
When it comes to adoption and staying protective of themselves.
And I might even believe you right here. Again, this would have been more believable what you just said there. Like, I could say, oh, that's the video you make. Here's how we got scammed, everybody. Here's how you avoid that scam. Right? Not just tell the story from start to finish so you can make a 20-minute video and make $1 million off it. Okay, that's different. What you could have done was like, guys, we got scammed, and this is how it went. It's heartbreaking, but here's how you avoid this. Here's 5 ways to avoid a scam. And I'm sure they'll do that. They'll capitalize on that too, right? But this isn't a raising awareness thing. This is you're telling your personal story of the scam that you're going to capitalize off of. After doing the video where you tricked people for the first 90% of it, that everything was great. Because I don't know if you know this, but most people don't watch an entire YouTube video. Your retention rates are really, really important in your analytics. Half their fans or more didn't watch that last part of the video. Okay, so why did you do that? That erases every good intention you had in this video to raise awareness to help people. It erases it all because we see the motive.
Making sure that they're always protected and looking out for scams because they are so real. And I would just say, like,
Be looking out for scams like MLMs? You mean that? Multi-level marketing? Pyramid schemes? Scams like that? Look out for scams, everybody. Origami Owl is an effing scam because it's an MLM.
obviously we weren't scammed of any money, which I'm very grateful for, but we were emotionally scammed, we were manipulated,
And you're doing that same thing to your fans. You are emotionally manipulating and scamming your fans by putting that first video out. Do you not realize how crazy it is that you did that? All that emotion and all that thing and all the things you spent money on and went shopping for and all that stuff. Do you not see how emotionally manipulative that is to your fans? Come on now. Come on now. You didn't have to do that video. You did not have to do it. That, again, detracts everything that could have been good about this video.
and at the end of the day, I feel like I just feel heartbroken. I just feel really, really, really sad. I've never
Stop trying to buy babies then.
been this sad in my life, and I'm trying to figure out how to process all of this still. So I'm grateful for any support that you guys have. If you want to leave any support or tips for us in the comments. We are excited to move forward from this situation. I really don't want to talk about it much more after this video.
I'm sure you don't. So then if you don't want to talk about it anymore, why did you create the first video? Again, that's it. That's all you guys need to know about this entire story. The first video. Hashtag first video gate.
I just feel like this has just been a big trial. It's been really hard, and we're trying to move forward from it. I also am excited to look back on this, hopefully soon, when we do have our baby or babies with us, and look at this and be like, you know what, like we still had hope and faith. And so while we are...
Is this God's plan? Remember you guys talking about it's God's plan? And Matt and Abby, everybody's like, oh, it's God's plan to choose us. Was this God's plan now? Why don't you talk about that? Why don't you talk about that? Why is it only God's plan when you're chosen for something awesome, right? When you're chosen for a baby. Oh, we didn't try those that young couple, whatever they were called. Remember? They're like, oh, God's plan. But they never mentioned God's plan when shit hits a fan, right? That can't be. That's Satan's plan, right?
crushed and defeated right now. I have hope that this is going to turn around, and we're grateful for any of the support that you guys have given us throughout this whole infertility journey and now our adoption journey, and we're excited for the future, even though this has been really hard.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. Hope is the last thing. Okay, F off. See, and here's the video right here, just going back to this. Twin gender reveal plus matching with an expecting mom plus bad news. There was no reason to make this video, none whatsoever, except for the fact that you got 1 million views on it. Okay, that is insane money that they're making on this video. This one came out 17 hours ago and already hit 1 million views. If you're wondering why people do shit like this, you're looking at the proof right now. This is embarrassing for them because they admitted to all the red flags and all the hangups they had about it and went through all of it. Ask yourself the question. Do you think that these people honestly didn't know this was a scam? Is it possible that they knew it was a scam and went through with it because of the virality of what was going to happen of the story? Because don't forget, everybody, everything that they have created up to this point has been fake. And they admitted it being fake. All the pranks, everything they do on their channel, it's all done for the camera. It's all fake. So at this point, I'm not saying they were fake scammed. They were absolutely scammed. I'm just telling you, I'm just asking you, why did they have to make these two videos? I need you to ask yourself that. And I know Bella and Dallin, you guys are watching this video. Take down your first video, or here, do me a favor. If you're so wanting to raise awareness for this adoption shit, why don't you take all the money you've made from these two videos and donate it to like the organizations that help stop this bullshit? You're not going to do that. You did it for you. You did it for content. That's it. These people are jumping the gun so hard. And what that tells me is that they're just desperate for a child. And they're desperate for a child for the wrong reasons. Because this is what they do for a living. And they're so upset and jealous, or whatever you want to call it, about all the other family vloggers out there that they're close to, or JD vlogs or whatever, that are having babies, that they just want to, they want to be part of a fucking club. That's it. That's what I'm seeing here. And they'll go so far as to almost like buy a child, is what I'm telling you. It's using their immense platform to try to get someone to give them a baby. Ignoring the fact that that's so fucking tone deaf for all the other people out there looking for a baby. These people, I mean, no one deserves to be scammed, okay? But if it is true that these people went through with this and reverse catfished all this kind of stuff, and we'll never know because they're never going to tell you, but if it is true, and that's got to be a question you're allowed to ask, okay? Then what type of person are they? Right? Somebody might say, well, they've been scammed, so they use the opportunity to reverse the scam and capitalize on it, so good for them. Some people might even say that. But they didn't have to do the first video. And that's where I land on this. And I'm going to continue to cover it. Don't forget, the story about her mom's going to come out soon. And when you realize that Origami Owl, which is a predatory MLM business, owned and operated by somebody who went to bat for a pet and was convicted of that, and then this is the person that runs it now and is part of that whole thing, it all starts making more sense to you guys. They are not who they say they are. That's the big thing here. Why has that never come up about this whole situation? Right? They'll tell you everything be a real raw. They'll tell you when they've been scammed to the nth degree. They'll tell you everything. They'll tell you when their IVF failed, they'll cry in front of a camera. They'll film it while they're snuggling and crying. They won't tell you the truth about everything else. That's real convenient. Della Vlogs, you are terrible people for doing this. And you could have avoided that whole judgment from me, especially, by not putting out that first video. You capitalized on something you should not have capitalized on. You are gross for doing that. And you should feel bad, but you guys have no shame. Gross. Shame on you. Everybody take a deep breath. You're going to need it. It's a big one. Now, I know they're getting a ton of support, and I know I get a lot of even people that follow me. They're like, nah, these are good people. I'm sorry, guys. And sometimes I feel like, am I the only one that sees this shit? Am I the only one who can see through this bullshit? Because I've covered these. They're just like everybody else I've ever covered. It's almost like there's a blueprint they all follow. Like the bingo card and all the same phraseology and everything that they do. And if there's one thing you want to remember about this video that's just like inescapable, is the fact that the music that they put behind it. That's not genuine. They're not genuine. And look at her face. Go watch it again on my channel. Just watch this video again. Look at her face and how it shifts and changes. She's angry once, she's crying the next, she's angry, she's crying. Then she's like, oh, we're going to learn from this. No. I think the adoption agency should be aware of her mother as well. That's what I think. You know what you should be aware of? Of how amazing and incredible and valuable you are. Thanks for coming for these chats. They are really important. These types of videos are pivotal moments in family vlogging history, and shit like this is why laws are being made. And it should be. And because you're here watching this, you're a huge part of this. Can't do it without you. And thank you for being here. I'll see you tomorrow.